What's up, guys? Okay, today we're back with a Brave 9 video. It's been a long time since I've done a Brave 9 video. We have a new update, guys. We're going to talk about the update in this video. We're going to talk about the different things that have changed, and then we're going to go through set effects first, and then we're going to go through spell cards. Alright, I'm going to go through all the spell cards and let you all know what's a good choice to get and go for. Alright? Okay, first things first. Set effects have changed. Okay? Set effects. You have to get the units in the set, alright, accordingly to all the achievements here. I call these achievements for a reason, alright? Keep that in mind. Alright, you gotta skill up the units to +9. And then if you have all three, you'll get to level 2. And then if you +9 one of them, and so on, alright? And you get the nice boost there. Alright, set effects. Nice. Okay, it's a nice thing to do. So there are not that many sets right now. There are, let me see, 6, 12, 18, 19 sets. And then basically once you get the set effect, alright, you don't lose it, alright? Even if you skill transfer away the skill points from the unit in the set, as long as you've clicked achieve, right? As long as you click achieve, this would be a good example. If you click achieve here, alright, so you can see it's +1 Natus right here. If I get Natus to +9, I can click this and then I'll get the boost. Okay? What I mean is, if you already have the achievement for, let's say, level 5, and you transfer away the skill points, right? You transfer away, you will still have the set boost. Okay, I tested it out with Ars mode just now because how do I say this? I have a couple of spare Ars modes. Okay, so I transferred away from Ars mode, so it was +8. And what I did was, I logged out of the game, I closed the whole game, I fired it up again, and the boost was still there at level 4, alright? It's still at level 4, even though it showed right here, Ars mode was +8, right? +8. But you still have the set effect bonus, okay? So what this means is you can skill transfer after you hit +9 on the set, and you will still be able to keep the set effect bonus on your stats. Okay? Don't ask me why I have spare Ars modes. Okay, I still have one more. I have one more here, right here. Right. Anyways, that's about it for the set effect changes. Okay, and now we're going to the big one, the spell cards, the biggest meta change in a long time for Brave 9. Let's go through all the spell cards, alright? So we have 11 spell cards, alright? 11 spell cards. I've gotten 3 of them for certain reasons, which I'll go through. Okay, let's go with the first one, Chasing Falcon. Chasing Falcon is a card that gives you concentrate attacks. Concentrate fire, same as with your Zenith or whatever that has concentrate fire, right? It's a long time ago, I don't really remember the name for it. It gives you concentrated fire, and the higher you go for the level, the more variety of units you can choose to have this concentrated fire on. Okay? In my opinion, Chasing Falcon is a card that you want to have at least level 2. Okay, I'll explain why soon. Because it starts on the 4th turn. Alright, 4th turn is very important to note. And then as you go higher, you can select different types of units with the earliest attack order, alright? The duration of Falcon will always be 12 turns, doesn't matter what level it is. Okay? Oh, the music's so loud, give me a second. Okay, so basically, level 2 is the minimum for this spell card, I would recommend. And the best case scenario would be level 5. Alright, level 5 would be the best case. You do not need to have 6 or 7, because having it at the 3rd turn is just about right. You don't really need to spend the extra resources to get it higher. Level 5 is just nice for you to be able to target enemy warriors, alright? Okay, I say this because this card is easily countered if your opponent keeps it in mind all the time. You put a early Helga somewhere, and you always have the Falcon on the Helga anyways. Okay, unless for some reason you have. In my case, I've seen my Asmod kill the Helga a lot of times early, so the Helga is gone, and the Falcon just doesn't have any use because most of the time the enemy is not running any other mages. But if they happen to be running other mages, then that mage will take over and be the target of the Falcon. Okay, and then it works out really well. Okay, it works out good with a unit that has big range, namely Alec Vals, right? Because you guarantee a couple of kills with these two units, right? Sometimes a Gunther would be decent if you have nice buffs, okay, and you don't meet like a memo on the trajectory, the range of it. But all in all, I recommend level 2, Chasing Falcon. Alright, this is the minimum because of Charming Siren. Charming Siren will always start on the 5th turn. Doesn't matter what level your card is, Charming Siren will always activate on the 5th turn. Alright, so Falcon, in this case, you want it to start on the 4th turn and your warrior hits on the 4th turn. Okay? This is very important because otherwise you will get screwed by the Siren. Alright, the charm is going to screw yourself up. So you don't want that to happen. Level 2 is the minimum for Chasing Falcon. Alright? Okay, Consecutive Seal Feed. Consecutive Seal Feed is a very interesting card. Okay, it gives, depending on the level, what kind of unit gets the double action, all right, double attack, depending on when. All right. In my opinion, this card is more for Novice Arena. Okay, it's better for Novice Arena because the taunt meta is stronger in Novice Arena, not so much in normal arena. Right, this is a Novice Arena card. Alright, I do not recommend using this card for Arena because it doesn't matter what level it is, you will always be caught. Alright, you'll always be caught by a Siren card. Alright, because it will always activate after Siren. Siren is on the 5th turn, doesn't matter what level. Okay? And Sylphid at the highest level will start on the 6th turn. So if you put this aiming at one of your own warriors, it will always get caught by a Siren. Alright, so in Arena, I wouldn't recommend this at all. Okay? If you happen to push this card to level 7, okay, level 7 is the 6th turn. 6th turn is a huge ask, in my opinion. Okay, you can target everything, of course, because it's the highest level. Alright, warriors, defenders, magicians, whatever ally you have. But the way to make this work is not worth your investment, alright? Because if for some reason your opponent is not using the Siren card, okay, then this card does miracles. But 99% of the time, this card is not very good. Okay, it's quite bad. Even though it's quite fancy, you can have a warrior Alec like hit twice and go 6 tiles and kill everything. It's not a very good card because it's super easy to counter with a level 1 card, which is the Siren card. Okay, just keep that in mind. This card will be useful in Novice Arena, alright, because you can drag the turns with an early taunt, but it has to be a very high level, alright, so the duration will last longer. That's for another. I can show you a couple of novice fights, but I think there's no point. You get what I mean, right? Anyways, next card, Charming Siren. Charming Siren always starts on the 5th turn. I mentioned it many times. This is the most economic card to get first, alright, with your free ink. Alright, this is the best card to get because the effects of it. Okay, let's get this straight, okay? Every spell card will go through debuff immunity, it doesn't matter. At least that's what I think, alright? Especially the Orochi one. You'll still eat through it, doesn't matter. For Siren level 1 is enough for 90% of the player base, alright? Level 2 will be really good because the duration is one more turn longer, which means the target is charmed one more turn. And this one turn, do not look down on this. This one turn is quite important, alright? You have to keep in mind, the higher level it is, the longer the duration will be. So depending on what kind of fights you are going into, okay, the longer the duration, the better, alright? So if you, let's say you have it at level 7 for some reason and you want to invest a lot, the charm will last 8 turns, which is really, really strong. Okay, it's really, really strong. But do I recommend you investing in this now? Not really, alright, not really. Level 2 would be the best economic solution, I guess, in reference to the amount of diamonds you have to spend. Level 1 is usable for everybody, alright? It's a really good card. Very cheap too, so it's like, 2000 ink. The longer duration is really good, but you don't really need to, okay? Unless for some reason you want to charm the enemy supporter first. I don't know. So you want to go like level 3 for that? I don't know. There's really no reason to charm the magician or the supporter, right? It doesn't really make a difference. So this is mainly to deal with warriors, alright? Bloodthirsty Orochi. Okay, this card is really interesting. It's very interesting because it softens the enemy. Softens the enemy, lowers their HP, but they will never die from this card. Alright, it lowers the HP, so it's very good for dealing with Jin or anything without an energy shield. Alright, which means Memo and Velfen are not afraid of this card. Okay. Everything else will take dot damage every turn. Alright, and the higher level you go, the longer the duration is. Level 3 and level 5 are probably the levels I would recommend getting this card at, so you're not just stuck on the upper lane, alright? At level 5 you can choose all 3 lanes, at level 3 you can do up or down, alright? Upper lane, lower lane. Really depends on what kind of strat you're going for. If you, for some reason, need to soften up the enemy team, this is the card for you. I don't recommend getting this, alright? You can only use 2 spell cards in Arena, so I don't think this would be a priority card to get. Okay. Higher level, longer duration. Doesn't make much of a difference. It's just a longer dot. Okay. This does not crit because you got no nothing on him, so you can't crit. The card doesn't crit. Okay, Protective Aegis. This is a very interesting card. Okay, this is a mage AoE counter card. Okay, it reduces the attacking range of enemy attacks to 1 tile on the whole lane. Okay, the problem with this card is it activates very late. It's on the 14th turn at level 1, and at max it's at the 12th turn. So it's really, really late. Alright. By the time this activates, most of your units are dead. Okay. Unless you have it at 7. And then it is a mage counter card, right? It's a mage counter to deal with opponent mages, because mages they go on the second round, right? So we have 18 units in arena, so if every unit gets a turn, it's 18 turns. And this card will always last for 8 turns at least. Right, so you will always catch. In this case, 22, so 19, 20, 21, 22, fourth turn mages. Alright, anything other than that, you don't catch the 4th turn mage. So a counter for this would be a mage that goes late. Alright, 5, 6, 7 turn mage. Is this card useful? It can be useful in certain situations, definitely. Especially if you have it maxed, alright? Because, I mean, I don't think you want to max this card, because the later it is, the more chance you have to counter a mage. Alright, it's very situational. Alright, you don't want to go higher than 5, probably. You want to keep it at 14 turn. If it activates earlier, what you can catch would be a very late Bells or a very late Alec. But that's very situational and not something that you want to bet on or gamble on most of the time. Okay. Next card. Next card is Revenging Rakshasha. All right. This card counters a Falcon setup. All right. Indefinitely, it counters it, provided you have a level 3. Okay, because at level 3 you can target the mages, your own mages, with this and counter attack. Loses out to Galania buffed enemies. Okay, loses out to Galania buff enemies, but at least you take 1 life. Alright, so this will probably aim at opponent warriors. Alright. The higher it is, the earlier it starts. Okay, so in this case you want to drag and you can counter an early, how do I say this? You can't protect a warrior with this card. So you can protect a mage, which will be targeted by a low level falcon. Okay, a low level falcon card, which will target magicians, right? You can counter it with this. Okay, you'll take a life depending on whether Galania is buffing the opponent. But it's not very consistent, alright? It's not very consistent. Maximum duration is 6 turns. Minimum 4 turns. I don't really suggest using this unless for some reason everybody has a falcon that is aimed on supporters at level 3 for some reason, which I can't think of why. It's not very interesting card to get. Okay, in my opinion, not priority as well. Okay, it loses out the Galania very badly because you don't really outright kill the unit that goes onto your unit. I don't recommend this card, but it is a niche card that can be useful in certain situations. Okay. In this case, it can be good for Guild War. Right, can be good for Guild War. At least a lot of the cards are useful for Guild War. You know, it gives you a little edge somewhere. But I don't think it's a priority to get this card right now, anyways. Chaotic Nightmare. This is a useless card in my opinion. There's no reason to get this card at all. Right, defense is not a big thing nowadays. Okay, it's not a big thing. The defense minus percentage does not increase, doesn't matter what level it is. Right? Duration does increase as you level it. You want to unlock all lanes so it's more flexible, as with other cards that deal with lanes. Not a good card right now. Don't get this unless for some reason you find a nice use for it, which I can't think of right now. Gangnia is a very interesting card. Alright, Gangnia is a super interesting card. In my opinion. Okay. Personally, I feel this card at level 3 is a minimum. Okay, level 3 is a minimum. So that you can target magicians. Okay. That's the biggest use for this card in my opinion, because if you go for a warrior with this, warriors are squishy, right? Warriors like Vals, Alec, you touch them, they're dead. Unless for some reason the Vanaka tanks everything, but that's for another day, okay? This card will be used most to kill magicians or get a mammal to Death Guard, right? And to do that, you need to get it to level 5, alright? And then you can target the earliest attack order defender, which is easily countered if you have mammal go latest. Later than maybe a Grand or, you know, a Lucy. Either way, you're going to get to the Death Guard if you hit mammal, if you hit Lucy, because it's direct additional damage. Direct damage goes through every damn nonsense you have. So, in my opinion, the best use of this card is to aim at magicians, alright? The higher level it is, the earlier it hits. Okay? There is a niche use for this. Alright, there is a niche use for this. If you happen to be able to drag with mages and supports at a high level Gangnia to the 6th turn, you are able to deal with warriors fast. Okay, so you take lesser damage. But I don't think it's very efficient. to spend on it unless you're a whale. The best use for this would be against magicians, definitely. Alright. Kill off Levia, Velfern, Celia, Natus. Kill them off early. Alright. Killing a warrior with this, I don't think is very efficient. Okay. Can be useful. But when attacking, this card loses its efficiency because you're going first. You know, you're going to attack anyways. So it's more of a defensive card. And even if it's a defensive card, loses out to Galania anyways, alright? Because you do kill a unit straight off, but the Galania buff procs and then it's still alive. So we'll see. You have to weigh up your options when you want to invest in a spell card, alright? Okay, so next card is Howling Direwolf. This card is difficult to use. It's difficult to use, but can have miraculous usage. Okay, let's put it this way. There can be miracles when you use this spell card in your team. Okay, why? Because it reduces attack by 150%. Right, this goes through debuff immunity, so it's a very big debuff. Alright. And the higher level it is, the longer the duration, and you can choose lanes based on the level. Alright, you want to go to level 5, so it's flexible, and you can choose and adjust the lane which you meet the most. Alright. Right now, because of the new update, I think you want to get it to at least level 3, so you can target a lower lane. Level 5 will be the best because everybody will be putting stuff in the middle lane. Okay, if you want to use this card, you have to get it to level 5, at least. Okay, level 3 is a super minimum, but the efficiency of it will not be that good. Okay, higher it is, longer duration. Alright, it can do miracles for you, but you have to invest a lot. Okay, Calling Viper. Calling Viper is about the same as Dire Wolf. Alright, the difference is Dire Wolf does not lose out to Falcon. Okay? Does not lose out to Falcon if you happen to choose the right lane to target at. Alright? Because if you happen to choose the DPS lane of your opponent with this card, the DPS of the opponent is not going to kill anything. Alright? The warriors early on. Right? It always starts on the first turn. Whereas Coiling Viper, okay, first turn is only at level 7, right? And reduce action to 1 tile. This is to deal with warriors, yes. Okay, it lasts for 12 turns. You have to choose, okay, there are conditions to it. You have to choose the right lane. You have to have a high level on this card, which makes it not so efficient as the Dire Wolf. Okay. You need the flexibility in choosing lanes, as with any card that you have to activate on the lane. So level 5, definitely. You will lose out to Falcon if you use this card. Okay? Because if you choose wrongly, everything dies. Right? It's not as good as the Dire Wolf card. But still usable. Alright? Still usable in a way. Because it lasts for 12 turns. Okay? At max. Okay, at level 4 then. Do I suggest getting Calling Viper? No, not really. Okay, Blue Light Wisp enables extra action. Alright, so basically if you taunt first and then this card at the right turn count will give you another turn, so you can taunt and then attack. Alright, you get what I mean? At level 1, before the 6th turn, alright, so you have to drag it, let's say with supports and mages, until the 6th turn, and then the 6th turn will be your defender, alright, because it starts with defender at level 1, and then you can get a taunt off, alright, in this case the best taunt will be Grand, okay, 6th turn, taunt with Grand, and then you can have a warrior attack after that. The problem with this card is, it starts at the 6th turn, which means it is a problem with Siren. Alright, Siren lasts for 4 turns. Alright, so 6, your warrior will still be under the effect of Siren. Okay? Still under the effect of Siren, unless you drag it even more, which is not really possible. Okay, it's not really that possible. Unless you manage to get this to level 7. Right, then you have a very strong formation because you can taunt, and then your warrior will not have to deal with Siren, right? With the Siren Charm card. So in a way, it's good. It's a way this card is not efficient for magicians. All right, it's not efficient for magicians. It can be useful for a warrior, but you have to get it to level 7. Okay, level 7. Why do I say this? Because you dodge the Siren at the 5th turn. Okay, and then your second warrior will attack as well. Alright, passes over a turn to the ally of the next turn. So let's say you have a 4th turn warrior, okay, at level 7. This card is very important to be level 7, to dodge Siren with the 5th turn start. And then when it's level 7, you will have 2 warrior hits. Okay, because the second warrior will not be charmed, because it's not the earliest warrior with the attack order. Okay, so this card, it's either don't use it or get it to level 7. Okay, it's a very good card at level 7, but not useful at all before that. Unless you are playing early taunt, then level 1 is fine. Right, level 1 is fine. The duration doesn't really matter because you get it immediately. Level 1 is okay, but you have to drag the turn count to the 6th turn to make sure that this card works. Right, basically what this means is you have Grand going on the 6th turn, so you drag, let's say I get a mage, 4, 5, 6. 6th turn Grand, and then you can drag even more, but you don't really want to drag that much, alright? Because then your warrior is going to attack your own team if you meet a Siren opponent, alright? Siren card is going to hurt, alright? It's going to hurt. So depending on how you run, let's say you don't run warriors at all. You don't run warriors, you all have all magicians. Maybe Nerua or something, you know. Or Helga, I don't know. So you're not going to charm on it. You're not going to get charmed by a low level Siren card. Unless for some reason the opponent has a high level charm Siren card, then, you know. It is an interesting mechanic to use, okay? Interesting mechanic. But I don't suggest getting it early, alright? Unless you can get it to 7, then it's the time for this card to perform. Alright. In terms of power at high level spell card, I think this will be the strongest card. Blue Light Wisp at level 7. So if you're a whale, you got this at 7, super strong. Alright, super strong. What else that you have? You might want to get higher. Falcon at level 5, to target a warrior will be quite strong. Right? This will be a strong level to be at Falcon, so you can target the warrior. Right? Because everybody will assume that the Falcon is going to aim on the magician with a low level card. Okay, so if you are able to target the warrior, right, you are able to get a lot more wins with your team because you can target the warrior. All right. I do not recommend this card at all. I've seen the worst things that it can do. All right, you have an elect getting charm and killing your whole team. Not a good card. Very decent for novice, definitely. All right, maybe I can show you a fight where it works out. Yeah, I'm using it on novice because I was testing it out, and based on the turn order, my elk, which goes first among all my warriors, does manage to hit twice sometimes. Okay. One, two. See what I mean? So it's a decent card for novice. It's just not a very good card for normal arena. Alright? You get what I mean? It's just not a very good card for normal arena. It can have very good usage in novice. It's just not so good for normal arena. So I don't really recommend getting this card or leveling it up very high. Alright. My main point of getting this card in the first place was to try it out, right? Because it looked nice, right? But after testing for a day and a half, this is the conclusion that I got. My normal arena team, I'm using Siren card, which is probably the most budget-friendly card in the game. Alright, and then I'm using Falcon level 2, alright, because I need it to go on the 4th turn. Alright. Let's do a fight, you see how it works. Alright, because my first warrior goes on the 4th turn, you avoid the Siren card entirely. Okay? And that is the main counter for the Siren card. Right, in this case, opponent doesn't have any mages, and you can see the Orochi does not do anything to Valfen or Mammal. Alright, very nice. Very good video material this is, you know. Alright, my Alec is dead. Wait, how did the Mammal die? What the hell? Anyway, this is how the card works, okay? And in this case, you have a very nice example of the Gungnir and the Orochi. So, very good material for the video. Alright, so the Falcon gets the taunt off, and then the concentrated fire off, and then you get the charm when the opponent is attacking you back. So it's all pretty nice combo there. Hopefully that's enough for this video so far. If you have any questions, give me a comment below. If you like the video, leave a like and then sub to the channel for more Brave Knight videos, even though I think the number of Brave Knight videos I'll be pumping out will be very low because the updates are very few and far between. Next video will probably be about the collaboration units. Alright, soon, which will be coming soon. They just announced it, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, I'm gonna go, guys. See ya. Ciao.